I hate it here.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Go Buff Yourself in Thousand Faces TTRPG presents City of the Crimson Tower, but we're going to be doing something a little different tonight. Tonight, the five are taking a short rest. And so after 26 sessions, I believe, we're going to sit down together and reflect about this story and game we've been telling and playing together for a year, I think. Pretty sure. Yeah, 26 every other week on average. Yeah, a year. And just so you all know, you might notice that Karina, Matty's screen is empty. That's simply because of a computer issue. Matty herself is still with us. Aren't you, Matty?
I am, yes.
So we are going to be just chatting a little bit about this game and this campaign. And if you have any questions for the group as a whole, someone in particular, please throw them in the chat so that we can ask them. But I've already got the first question planned for y'all. And so, my first question is, over the course of this campaign, how do you feel that your character has changed most significantly? Or maybe not most significantly, but the favorite way for you that they've changed? Gotta do some self-reflection.
That's a hard one.
Do we want to... How I can lead with an easier one, and how about I lead
with an easier,
I can lead with a softball. I can lead with a softball, and we can.
We'll kind of marinate on that.
Yeah, let that one.
How
let that one steam
as a person throughout your life.
Thinking about it.
Let that one steam a little bit.
I think I can answer.
I have an answer.
Well,
I do have an answer.
then I would love you two to hang on to it, and you don't have to let it marinate while everyone else has to think of it passively in the background.
You see, I'm gonna let it marinate, and it's just gonna get more corrupted as I go. But yeah,
I mean, it happens. So let me change, and then we can jump back to that one. This one's a bit of a softball question. What was a moment you've had that was we or I, but we might die here?
When we got jumped by the wolves, to be honest.
Which time?
The first time.
Oh, the first
one?
time.
The first time. I will say for me, yes, because that was the most damage I had taken in a fight, or Nyne had taken in a fight, because you critted me real bad and dropped me I would have taken 3 wounds in one go, but then I rolled that soak roll and pretty much just punched the wound closed and kept going.
The imagery of just fix it, Felix, yourself.
Yep. Yes, just punched it closed and then killing the wolf in retaliation of hurting me. That is pretty much the most damage I've taken in a fight so far for a character who's designed to fight. Yeah, I thought that was going to be it I thought I was going to drop a life. Not going to lie. I thought I was going to come back being 8 after this. I didn't know. See, who knows?
I'm really thinking, to be honest, the first major fight where we fought that monster and I was eaten. If I didn't cut that baby out of that monster, what would have happened to us? If it didn't eat me? I was very curious about that fight because, Matty was about to sacrifice a dog, and thank goodness Lancelot lives, and he is now a part of a bar, food restaurant area.
Matty came closer to sacrificing Karina than Lancelot.
Oh, that's a good point. Yes. Yeah, Matty was going to die. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that was our worst because we were low levels too. We had nothing.
I thought the time that we were going to die wasn't actually during a fight. It was when we fell into the fog in different moments. When Karina first went into the fog, I was like, she's a goner. And then when we fell into the fog, Nyne and Gloria did, I was like, this might be it. This is it. We die here.
you'd think I'd say my castration. But you'd be wrong. Because when Strahd just kind of strolled into where we were sleeping, and half y'all were knocked out, sleeping, all Sally on the train. It was the train, right?
No,
It was
No,
right
that was
after
right
the
after.
train.
Yeah,
when
right
we were
after
in
the
that.
train.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this gonna be it. Right here, when she just strolled in here and sat down on the bed. Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I always believe in y'all. I always believe that you're gonna find
I
a way
don't.
as a group to get through it, but there have been times that I very much thought someone was a goner when they weren't. Not like the whole group, but fucking Brawk in that last wolf fight.
I don't know, man. I think me falling off the cliff
Yep.
and the only reason I survived was because I had a single Benny. I thought I was dead, and I still talk back to Strahd. I really have problems. I'm
No
sorry.
one could get to you, and we were like, oh, well, she just fucking opening her mouth now.
That was such a great scene. Oh,
I thought I was gonna die there. Definitely thought I was gonna die. But you know what? We're all just gonna die when the wolves break into our little lovely wooden hut, so it's fine.
Sure.
so
I'm not. I'm going down swinging. Fuck that.
here's another still kind of warm-up question. So that was more of a story character one. We've now been using Savage Worlds for 26 sessions, and most of you had never used the system before it. How are we feeling about the system, and are there any parts of it that you think have really enhanced the story itself?
Honestly, when it comes to Savage, I've really liked Savage Worlds, and me being able to play it via the computer and us doing that Deadlands one shot where we had to roll the dice ourselves. Oh boy, I like using it on the computer because I like when it explodes on its own and just does it for me.
Boundary's
but
very
the explosion, the explosion part about that makes it better for me because, like, yes, I have an initial idea of what I want to do with a character or when I set out to do it, but when the explosion part happens, it's great. Even when I critically fail at things, it's a nice little lever of like possibility of like how to narrate things and
So
just
swingy.
all right, we're doing great. Guess what? That tower you built now fall, and you just got to come back from it. And I like the swayingness of it. It's great.
The explosion and the raises aspect combined, and the fact that you could technically get infinity, on a roll, if you're lucky enough, is just wild. Okay, I know the mathematician here. I know the side. Okay, you could get an arbitrarily high number.
Thank you. Yes, isn't that wild? Savage Worlds is so cool.
It's so much better when you don't use specific.
If you want to go watch a actual nuanced mathematical take on how the math in Savage Worlds works, you should check out the video Anna Margaret did. It is better than me being totally wrong by saying infinity.
No, you're not
Arbitrarily
totally
high.
wrong. I was just being annoying. But I do think, though, you've hit a really interesting point, Ethan, on like how the math in Savage Worlds is so different than many other TTRPGs. And it's kind of like what Mav said with the dice being able to explode. It makes it potentially very swingy. And so I think that in that way, it's really interesting and it's been fun to explore. I think it's a really fun system. I appreciate how narratively based it is. And I think that we've all gotten more and more comfortable with it too, which I think is really cool.
And, there are some types of stories that I think that level of swinginess doesn't necessarily work well for, where you want it a little bit more predictable. But for a pulpy horror story where you could be victim and hero at any moment, you could be either, I think it works well here, where you can succeed gloriously against impossible odds or fall to a single zombie if it just goes bad for you, which happens in horror movies all the time. The guy who just took out 20 zombies gets taken out by one that he just didn't notice.
I want you to know that I am planning for that to happen. I know Nyne's gonna get got by something stupid. That's all it is.
Well, I mean, poor Brawk over here continuously having to deal with wolves upon wolves upon wolves.
It had to be wolves.
I
The
would
most
like to
common
point out-
creature in the game.
I would like to point that out. One of my friends,
Thanks so much.
Ghost, he pointed that out during one of my other streams. It's like, y'all love fighting wolves. Like, y'all, what is up with y'all in this group of wolves and
I
werewolves
don't even
and
know the
whatnot?
half of it. I
Yeah,
don't even know the half of it.
wait till you see. Listen, there's another story for another day. But fuck that
Okay,
story.
okay, I'm gonna
Fuck
pull
you
it
all.
back by saying that Savage Worlds awesome sort of way of pulling emotion into the whole gameplay, sort of, you know, you're fear-based, you're stunned, like it affects you on a deeper level than say in D&D whenever, you know, you're enthralled for maybe a move or something. No, this one really affects you, and if you have a wound plus you're fatigued, I'm like, you're gonna get some bad rolls and you're not gonna be able to get out of it without help.
Well, I mean, heck, as an example of that, you know, Karina failed a fear roll bad enough that she gained a permanent, well, at least for now, but a long-term hindrance. So a long-term impact to her character, which I've definitely noticed, Matty, you putting the bloodthirsty,
I gotta play into those tropes. I think that's what I like most about the Savage Worlds. It's like a perfect leeway into this, so I'm going to use it. Is the character development and the character building for Savage World. I love the idea of characters and like driving them and building them as the game continues. And Savage Worlds starts with such a basic blank character that you can add to. Where D&D, you're a fighter and you're this. This, you are a guy and you choose what you're good at and you choose all the different things and you build onto it. So for a horror style game, for even a fantasy style game, I could definitely see it. Like, I'm going to be using Savage Worlds for sure in the future. It makes it so you're a guy that does shit instead of you're a fighter, you're a bard.
Yeah.
It's got a completely different character system, which I really enjoy.
yeah, the edges and hindrances. How do you all like those? Because I think it's really cool that that's how you build your character, both mechanically and personality simultaneously.
It's helpful.
Yeah, Laura and I have talked about this a lot. I love the focus on hindrances because I often feel like it's failures in games, and it's kind of some of those sort of not mistakes, but like maybe not necessarily the strengths that make a character and a story so interesting. And so I think that being able to kind of lean on like clueless elements or clumsy elements when building and forming a character and then role-playing that character leads to more interesting stories. So I love the character creation for Savage Worlds, and I feel like we as a group have done a good job of kind of utilizing some of these hindrances in our role-playing
Could not agree
storytelling.
more.
And flaws are quintessentially make some characters better. Yeah, you have all
100%.
these strengths and whatnot. It's like, but that makes flaws make you more grounded and more human as an overall character. Because, like, yes, this person's super strong, super talented, super smart, but they can be forgetful or have emotional trauma that they have to deal with and everything like that. So it is cool to get these types of character building elements that, on the surface, seem all right, whatever they can, but we as players get to use that how we see fit or express it in different ways.
And the fact that
Oh, for sure.
the game rewards you with bennies for playing into that, as opposed.
And that's what I was gonna.
Oh, please.
That's what I was gonna say. Is that the Benny system kind of gives that incentive to really play that character out. Like we were talking before, it's really narrative driven. It's really role play. It's really role play driven. Because the system really allows for that. Whereas with some other systems, things can be a little more crunchy, or you become so focused on making sure you get the right number on the die or report the right thing that you don't. But anyway, I love that the traits and hindrances really lead to that, as well as help inform your character during combat, which I think is in Savage Worlds really more streamlined, because there's a lot of dead time in other systems, and what's really hard about keeping an engaging audience is that dead time. So with Savage Worlds, we have this very natural progression of the conflict, and you get to see those characters. Like you get to see Brawk kind of cower a little bit to himself. You get to see Gloria, play into the healing aspect. You get to see everyone's flavors come out during combat, as well as when we're doing roleplay.
I've been loving the way this system has aided in telling this story, and I've, just as a person who likes to think about TTRPGs, reflected a few times in that I do think there are several moments that likely would have been very different story-wise if we'd just been using a different system. Where, I think Brawk, like in that shoving moment with the wolves, if he was that bad at physical, athletics or whatever, the odds might have just been entirely impossible for him to overcome even. But because of the explosions, because of all of this working together, got to tell a story that was very unexpected.
And castrating. It's no big deal.
I can't believe that's what got rolled.
Don't even...
Listening back to that episode of just hearing even my reaction of, I have to read this so that
he did it on purpose. He must have. He did it on purpose.
I didn't know. The first major injury is a really bad injury. All right. So returning to the world of Barraville, what character have you as a player, or has your character most attached themselves to or enjoyed interacting with the most? Who's been your favorite character in the story so far, or one that sticks out?
Are you talking like player or NPC?
I mean, if you want to talk about,
I just didn't know if this is.
You can focus on like your PC's relationship. You can totally focus on your PC's relationship with another PC, or if there's an NPC that you wanted to. Either they're all characters.
Okay.
I like Shay Ava.
Shay Ava or
Shay Ava. What was she called?
Madam Ava.
Madam Ava, yes. Madam Ava, because I really love all of your old ladies. All your old lady characters are just some of my favorites and dear to my heart. But I liked her coming in and giving this exposition, and all of us kind of like, what the hell is going on? And it's just like, shush, pay attention, I'm giving you exposition. Listen, I don't care what you do with it afterwards, but I'm giving this to you now. Have fun. And that entire sequence where just fucking Karina just beamed that other girl when she went to go snitch and didn't get far, but having to deal with all of that. So, but yeah, Ava, that's one of my favorite ones out and we've interacted with. And Bridgeman, I'm calling him Sharon, I called him Sticks. The guy on the bridge from last.
Oh yeah, Sticks.
I think the best relationship that I've been seeing develop is between Ira and Matty. Yeah. It's a strange one, and it's like it's building into something like strong, but I mean, I'm at the level where I'm like, if we take this girl them with us this whole way, like, are they going to turn into like the second apprentice that we have to fucking fight or something? Like I'm at a level that I don't know if I trust Ira, and then Matty's just always right there for Ira, and I'm like, I don't know if I trust this person.
You see, that comes from a sense of duty. Karina is at a point in this story where she is lacking a purpose, but she has a job. So because she has this job with Mark, which is the character that definitely stood out most to her was Mark, she's determined to actually fulfill this job and protect Ira at all costs, which is why Karina tends to drag Ira to her or bring Ira behind her, because in her mind, she's got a job and that is what she's trying to focus on. But most of that comes from her respect for Mark, because for whatever reason, she felt connected to him. And during their moments together, she decided that this is somebody that she wants to help. And because of that, she's taken Ira under her wing.
I I don't remember their name, but I'm confident Gloria would have. But I feel like a pivotal moment for Gloria was when she was able to help and heal the vampire that was the pastor's son.
That was what I was going to mention.
What's his name?
That's what I was
Doyle?
gonna mention.
Doyle.
Yeah.
His name's
So
Doyle.
I would say Doyle probably was the biggest kind of like impactful moment for Gloria because, you know, she at this point was still trying to figure out like grappling with these sort of vague memories of her past, desperately wanting to help somebody. And so being able to help him, I think, instilled more confidence in her than she had before and is kind of like a beacon of hope in a really dreary setting. So I'd say like Doyle has kind of like been a very pivotal moment for Gloria.
That was hard.
That was a rough session.
That was hard session.
Well, that
Made me uncomfortable.
that kind of connects me to my next
Deeply.
question, but I wanted to make sure, did everyone get a chance to answer this one? Mav, did you? Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm
you
sorry.
started.
I think
yeah,
Matt
Miss
did.
Ava,
I don't
Miss
know
Ava.
if Lauren has.
Yeah, Lauren.
Lauren.
Well, I kind of just bellied up to what everybody else said because, or I was going to mention the vampire and his dad being that when we came into that situation, I think it was the first situation where we actually saw the humanity of this place in full bloom. So after being trapped in a fucking murder house forever, seeing that and then dealing with what we had to deal with Doyle and the things that he said and did was just gut-wrenching because it shined a light no light in Barovia. It shined a light on how truly desolate and devoid of hope this place is. You can't save everybody. You can't even save. I mean, it's just
We could save that one, but
You
that's
could
what was
save
so
that one.
impactful. I could save
was
that
so
one.
cool. That was really cool. But yeah, it was one of those things, and it was a pivotal moment in that. Okay, well, if this can happen now, what can we do for ourselves and the rest of this place? If we tap into our fullest potential, if we remember who we are, if we drive forward together as a team. So, huzzah!
It's a dark story, but you all do still succeed. You know, maybe not always and maybe not easily, but when I listen back to that scene with Doyle, holy crap. So that kind of leads me into a question. Maybe it's already been answered, but I asked about what moment you all thought, oh shit, we might die here. So like a physically threatening one. But what moment is there a moment that sticks with you all emotionally most? Whether it be a bright light of happiness and silliness and good, rare though they are, or horrifying or sad, because we are, as performers, we've all leaned really heavily into the role play, the character performance, and you all have given so much emotionally into these characters. So Anna Margaret, I saw your hand right away.
Oh yeah, I'll go first because I already shared one that was really like positive and emotional. I feel like when Gloria was trying to heal Doyle, that was like one of the biggest like high moments for her. But then I think conversely, there's a point where I almost made myself start crying is when Gloria felt like she lost a lot of her hope when it seemed like Nyne and Hawthorne were completely abandoning her.
On the train?
Like forgot and didn't care. And like she
Is that with the mirror?
She's
Yes!
like, we saw all this blood. They were clearly in trouble. We were chasing after them, trying to help. And then for Nyne to like turn around, look at her, and then leave after promising that he would always stay. Like, I think that was definitely like a gut-wrenching moment for Gloria. And it was like, I think she was like losing hope in that moment.
It was so sad. You could hear it in your voice,
he
and
had
it just like, oh,
promised.
yeah. It was you. Literally, those are the words you said. I remember, just like he promised. Like, oh, oh, right to the heart.
That shit fucked me up. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, whoa, hold the character, get out. Just wait for break. I'll go next. All right. So funny enough, for to flip that coin back over. When Gloria and Nyne actually got to sit and talk or on watch together, where Gloria sat in his lap, we just talked about things, and Nyne went about like cooking and all this other things that he liked to do, and just Gloria letting him ramble and go on about his things that he likes, when normally he's listening to what she wants to hear, or listening to what she likes to talk about and all that other stuff. And it was just a nice little light moment within the darkness that is Barovia. So that was one of my favorite moments of just, hey, this is still nice. Yeah. Yo, Angel, there you go.
Yeah, I think the moment Gloria talked about for Hawthorne was a tough moment, because it showed a side that like Hawthorne isn't at all. It was kind of showing like his exact like opposite of what he thought he was, and so showing him that he's not that he's the because he doesn't know who he is. He's the darker side, the bloody side, the fighter, because he's a big horned bull, whenever in fact he's probably something different because he doesn't feel right in that skin. But yeah, that's probably the closest. That and the spider. Seeing the hopelessness of this spider taking over this person who's sleeping and affecting them and everything, and then thinking that he was going to die in that moment, thanks to Brawk. Didn't die, of course, but yeah, that was probably hot potatoes somebody else.
Well, and Sally and Mav, both of you did a great job with taking and running with that prompt of suddenly like, you have to now take on the mentality of this image that you created in front of you, and that's a tough thing. That's a tough little improv prompt there, and you all did great job with it. And seeing these two, just that you all had kind of similar, not identical, but similar fears for yourself. Like, you created a terrifying duo there for a little bit, that's for sure.
Tag team, baby.
That was really hard for Brawk to see. Because
We were struggling.
there was no way off this fucking train. And just seeing, so Brawk is really connected to Hawthorne in the way that Hawthorne is very kind of roots in the ground kind of person. Like a tall, strong person, whereas Brawk feels the exact opposite. He feels small and weak. And to see that he hitched himself to a ship that was going down scared the shit out of him, because he never thought he would be able to help anyone, let alone himself, let alone anyone else. So to see the two strongest, firmest people that he knows go into that was really hard, because what can I do to protect these people? Nothing. Just stand there and take it. And that's the exact way he felt when the wolves attacked him. I can remember just like going into this imagery in my mind as he was being savagely fucking torn apart, of just the sound of heavy breathing and flesh tearing, and the helplessness of being completely surrounded and yet totally alone. So those two moments were fucking rough.
And this is a fucked up story. Who tells this fucked up story?
It is a fucked up story.
I don't know. Someone in their head got this train idea, and then they put
it
all
was
these weird
terrible. It
things.
traumatized
There was
us all.
a head thing with
Could just
Karina.
go.
Poor
Like the
Karina and the
train.
head
Go to the
thing.
module.
That whole train car was messed up.
Do what was written for you. Had to come up with some other fucked up shit.
Exactly. He went too far, because the puppet show is what fucked Karina up the most.
Puppet show was
I'm-
wild.
I'm all for a puppet show, but when the character's depiction in the fucking show gets ripped in half in the end of the show, it's
The dice are not in your favor.
And so
Fuck a puppet.
between that moment and the latest moment with Strahd with the sword and her just basically saying, who are you going to tell? Who's going to believe you? I don't think Karina has ever felt more small in her life. And she used to be a pretty confident person, but right now she feels helpless and small and as if nothing she does. Leave her alone, Brawk. That's for you to do.
And leaking smoke, too.
That was weird, but I knew what was going on there. I had an idea. Right now, I feel like, or at least Karina feels like, there's nothing she can do that's going to impact what happens next. And it's a mindset that is terrible to lean into because nobody's going to believe her. Who's going to believe her? But she genuinely believes that it doesn't matter what she does. Everything is just going to work itself out, and she's just a pawn in this game.
Brutal. Love those.
Hey, Ethan.
Yeah.
Ethan, quick question. We have a question for you. Ethan, what voice do you do for your old lady characters? I just want to hear a voice for your old lady character.
I mean, it really depends on the character. There are a lot of different...
Well, it really depends on maybe she's a sassy old...
She's a Barovian drug dealer.
It could also be quieter.
Slash fiend.
The cats love it.
And the cat's here an old lady, and they know that's my home. I'm going to go be with an old lady with 9 cats. And they come flocking to the old lady voice. But yeah, it really depends. I do love my old character voices, I will admit. Oh, this is a great question. This question from Nate Johnston kind of connects on the topic of bleed, as it's known in TTRPG scene occasionally. Is it hard to separate your feelings, experiences, emotions of the character from your own?
As I'm playing somebody who's completely hyped up on opium and morally gray at best, I would say, yeah, it's pretty easy to keep my own decision-making and my own feelings in regards to these situations separate from Karina's. Because I do a lot of things in this game that I would not do in reality. And I feel that, sure, sometimes emotions will get to me, and like situations during the game will definitely bring those emotions to the player. But I tend to keep the character completely separate from the player in regards to this game. Most games.
I feel like it's whenever you like love a character so much that whenever you see it in a movie or comic and they do something, you're like, they wouldn't do that. Like, it's something like that where you're so into the character, you kind of know what they're going to do and not do. Like, I myself would never tell Strahd that she, is looking kind of bad.
Tired.
But Hawthorne is impulsive. It is a hindrance of his.
I thought you were gonna die.
He will say it.
That is a moment.
He will
That's
say
a moment
it.
I thought you would die.
Yeah. And so
Close.
I honestly didn't even mean it that way at all. I actually did not mean it that way, but it was taken that way. The words that you say will be taken a certain way. But yeah, so I think it's kind of easier because
tired.
You're getting in that mindset. Because, I mean, he's very different than me. Well, she didn't have her jacket on. He said she didn't have her jacket on. And she didn't come, like, accompanied by people and stuff. So I was just trying to make a segue into her life. Trying to get to open up. No, literally, I did not mean it that way at all. But it was taken that way. I was like, damn. Yeah, way to go, Hawthorne.
Well, because I think we joked about this after that very session, it immediately in the moment reminded me of that scene in the bird cage of like, you're tired means you look old, and you're rested means you had collagen.
So true.
That movie's so good. With a clarification from Nate, is it hard to not have the emotions that you feel, that sadness or dread or oppressiveness, not have that bleed over into you after the session. Does anyone ever struggle with that? Is there something you do to like get back into the real world?
For me, when it's coming down, so this is how my brain works. They're gonna open into my brain, because I do play a lot of different characters on the show, and in general, there's just a giant green room and a mental green room in my brain to where me, Mav, walk in, I change into the character, come out, do what I need to do. Once Ethan calls cut and we're done for the day, I go back to the green room, take the suit off, and then it's just Mav. So everything in that is inside the costumes till next time. That's how I do things and whatnot when it comes to a lot of, especially the emotional charged moments that we do have in these games, because some of them are darker elements and everything. I can take it off, put it on the rack, and be done with it until the next time that we play.
You gotta be able to.
Mm-hmm.
And mine's very similar process, and I learned it at the Renaissance Fair. You have something that signifies your character change, whether it be a phrase or an article of clothing or a prop. And so all of my characters have something that makes me say, this is that character.
Brawk has the jacket.
Bodhi, Brawk has the jacket. Bodhi has the hat and his shell because he's a turtle. And Gianna, she's a monster hunter. I sit with a pen. It's my little dagger. And that helps me to say that, Roland, that's that character's time. And additionally, after each session, I have floor time. I will just kind of lay on the floor before transitioning to my next task, just in case there's a little remnants of those feelings or that character left over. I just give them the time and space to kind of leak out of my mind, if that makes sense as a performer.
I think that does make sense. I like that you're calling out like decompression time after. I've never really had an issue with a character I've played like seeping in or lingering too much, but I do think though it's a sign of a good story if like you keep thinking about it after it happens. And I know for me personally, that's one reason I really love like horror media, or I love reading, I love watching films, because I do like to kind of continue to marinate and think about situations that personally the fear-averse, hyper over-prepared type A person Anna Margaret would never deal with. But I find it's fun to explore and to think about. And so I do think that like with this story, like it's like, it's a horror. It's a little bit dramatic. There's choices that I've had my character make that I think are really thought-provoking, and I have thought about it. I found myself kind of considering, or like especially when we've left on like a cliffhanger moment, I've had to consider, how will I address this after? Or there's been like a time during a break where I was even like, Mav, just so you know, heads up, Gloria's gonna ambush you. She's gonna be like, what the heck? Like,
just get ready.
You know, like, heads up, I've been thinking about this. I think that this is gonna happen. So I think in that way, like, I do think that I've thought about the story, which I like. I often, I don't know, I'm the person that'll get up in the middle of the night thinking about a book I read in middle school. Like, wait a minute. And so I don't know, I enjoy that. But I think personally it is good to separate like a character you're playing or like a character in a film from yourself. And that's like important. But I do think that the story has stuck with me in some moments where I've thought about it. And I like that.
And I would imagine that you speak for all of us. We all spend time thinking about the story when it's not happening, and that is great. It's when you can't separate that there's a problem, which usually happens in my experience, like when there's character versus character conflict in story, and then people have trouble separating, like, my character is mad at your character. You're not mad at me. That can sometimes.
Exactly. That's why me and Mallow have beef right now. So to clarify, I do definitely have moments in this game and Lord of Sins, both of them, where I make decisions and I make choices, and the weight of those choices is heavy on me. And even after the game, because I've definitely made some questionable choices, but not to a point where it's like affecting me in like a super negative way, but in a way that I think over those choices and I kind of work through them. I spend a lot of time alone every day, so I spend a lot of time thinking over things and thinking about things. So there's definitely been a few moments, for example, with Lancelot and the altar, where I had to
He's fine.
take a step back and think about it and think about what I was doing and what decision I was making. So I will say it definitely bleeds over just a little bit, just a smidge.
Is there, and what's something good that you do for yourself to get you out of that? Just for any other players who might feel themselves experiencing something similar.
I tend to find a change in media. I will watch a movie, I'll watch a show that's comfortable for me, or like something that I've watched a million times, so it's just easy to fall back on, and just a change of pace is what I tend to do.
100% agreed.
For me on that topic, I obviously, like Anna Margaret was saying, I spent a ton of time thinking about these stories when we're not playing it. Way more time than when we are playing it. But I don't get bogged down. Maybe it's because I'm the DM. It is more like thinking back on a movie that I loved, or thinking back on a story that I loved. But it's even cooler because I got to make that movie or book with my friends in that moment. And Lauren and now Sally can absolutely testify that after a session is over, if it's in the evening, I need to like pace for like 20 minutes with the adrenaline before I can eat dinner. Like I just need to get that energy out, whether it was a crazy sad ending or a high energy ending. It's the same result for me because I'm still riding the high of this awesome story that we get to tell together, no matter whether it's triumphant or less so. So, how about that first question? How do you all think your character has changed in either your favorite way or the most significant way since the story started?
Brawk's spine is decompressing slightly. It's evident. His name is Brawk, the cynic. He's wound tight. He's anxious. He's on edge. He's Brawk, right? He throws up so much. Good change, not throwing up as much. Still feigning just as much, but he's growing a backbone and he's learning that he has he has a role to play, and it is valid, and that he's allowed to take up that space. And I don't think when I first created Brawk Lynn, that he would ever have that. He would ever have this sense of purpose at all, period. Just some dude thrown into a space he doesn't know with some people he doesn't know, living out his nightmares. What are they, his nightmares? Is it real? Are we in a simulation? Are we the simulation? That type of energy. He's still got that. But I think he's got something to fight for, and he has confidence that he can. TLDR, backbone.
Awesome.
I'm going to jump in because mine is the exact opposite. Karina came into this story. It's just perfect segue. I remembered the word segue. So I'm going to use it. Karina came into this story with hope and with an idea of, we can get out of here. And don't give me that face, Lord. And she's getting to this point where there's no hope left. There is a job to do, and that is what she's focusing on. So I think the biggest change for her is she's gone from somebody who thought maybe those memories are our past, maybe we can get out of this, maybe there's a place for us outside of this hell house, outside of this horrible foggy world, to a place where she's like, I'm going to die. It's just a matter of when.
That answer create such an interesting combination of reactions in me, because like as your friend, or just like thinking about the character, I'm like, oh, poor Karina, like that makes me really sad.
Yeah, you broke her.
But as a DM, thinking about Barraville, or the Curse of Strahd story that we've based this story off of, that's exactly what Barovia is supposed to do to people, is just fill them with omnipresent dread and hopelessness. And so while, like, again, from someone who is a fan of the character, I hate to see it. But from someone who's a fan of the story, I love to hear it. So I'm glad that's having that result.
You're glad that you made her completely washed out and depressed?
Fuck.
I don't love her as much as I love you, so as long as
Matty,
you're
going down that hole. You're all on your own too.
She's been going down
You're
this
walking
rabbit
down
hole
that
for a long
hole.
time. So no, I think
You're like,
I think
oh,
it's great.
excuse me, I think that's for me.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, that's how she's changed from the beginning. The most significant.
I can kind of come in next. I feel like Gloria, it's been interesting because I think that as I've been having a fun time at kind of exploring her, discovering more about her backstory and kind of grappling with this and leaning into sort of those like moments that she uncovers, like when she had that memory when she went into the fog, and kind of using that to sort of shape even like the way that I had Gloria approach different situations. And I think that like while she generally has kind of an optimistic outer shell, I think it's been fun to explore some of the doubt she has underneath and kind of playing around with that. And so I think that like as the story's gone on, it hasn't so much as been that she's changed, but more like uncovered some of these moments, if that makes sense.
That's a great distinction too. Yeah, for all of you, kind of. If when it comes to your memories, it's less changing and more reverting.
Yeah. Like as she uncovers pieces, kind of how does that integrate into the person she is now? And kind of, as the campaign has gone on, I think she's focused more on healing and helping.
That was a happy child scream in the background.
Sorry.
Healing and helping.
She was so fast with the mute. She was so fast with the mute. She was like,
that's a mom right there. Ready to hit that mute button. Mav? Sally?
I see you're not picking on Lauren. I see there's favorites. Oh, she did.
She started.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Pick a fight for no reason.
No, I just didn't want to go.
I just needed to deflect.
I'll go really fast. I'll go really fast. So I think Hawthorne never imagined being like the big brother situation. Whenever he came into it, he's really bonded with Brawk a lot, but at the same time, now he trusts these guys, but doesn't trust them because they go off on their own and then they go in fog and they do weird stuff. So he's like, I need to really keep track of these guys. And this is what he's developed into. And I just don't know how to back him off of being this like drunk big brother who's carrying around alcohol all the time. And so I'm like, this is who you are. I mean, it kind of goes with your backstory. So we kind of leaned into it. Let's just do it.
I love that.
So, hey everyone. Nyne has been a fun, not a chore, but a fun task of me as a player doing character work. Because I've mentioned before, he's built for combat. We don't do a lot of that. So I, as a player, have to use his strengths and his weaknesses to build his personality. Going to go ahead and be honest with you, did not plan for the Gloria non-storyline. Did not plan for that at all. It happened. It just naturally happened.
That's what makes it so awesome.
Yeah. So, leaning into that, but Nyne's role versus Grand Pantera, he is a protector. Not only will he protect Gloria till his dying breath, he will also protect the others as well. And even though Nyne butts heads with Karina so fucking much, he has stated multiple times that I got your back. Just don't fuck me. Don't fuck me over. That's quintessential the thing. I got you. I'm here for you. And that goes for everybody else in the party as well. Nyne is that sword that goes out first. So, watching Nyne come from not really caring, per se, to becoming a team player has been fun.
It's been a lot of fun to watch, too.
Yeah. Yeah, he's part of a stable now. He's not a singles competitor.
Well, I've got one last question that I had planned. And then if you all have any to ask before we head off for the night, feel free. But if we were able to freeze frame a single moment from the campaign and either print it out or have a painting of it, what moment would you pick?
I got it. When we almost died to when we pissed off Strahd. No, you know what? When Karina pissed off Strahd by talking back to her, and we got surrounded by the goddamn dogs.
Ooh.
And it's just that one scene of all of us, like, either a protective stance and a defensive or an attacking stance, and us just with that street light on us.
I'm seeing this as like a low angle image from like behind you all. And you can see the alleys with the dogs there, and just Strahd with 2 fingers held up, standing in front of her car. Oh, great visual.
Yep. That one. Like she said, awful as fuck, but that one. That's on a trading card.
Strahd. I love Strahdia's character. She's so cool.
Fuck that bitch.
I think that the opening scene would have been a really cool moment. Not like when we all got off at the train, at the train station, kind of surrounded by mist. I think that's a kind of a cool like freeze frame moment.
I like the way you say mist. Mist.
And you have that in that same frame. You have that just the door closing, and that door is just open enough to see the the open door of the next car. And that's just people being made into meat.
You're
people,
talking about
right?
2 different trains.
Two different trains?
Margaret was talking about first episode when you all got to Barrowville.
Yeah, okay.
You were
I'm
talking
thinking
about
of
like just
when
seeing
we were haggard as fuck.
The last train here.
Well, yeah. Okay, both were ominous, but I'm talking about the one where like we got out and you literally described it as like there's a screaming baby, but you can't see anything except a blinking light in the distance.
She's reading this from notes.
Yep, very first one.
Hey, one of us has to be a note taker, and it's me.
Look at this note taker.
I love the note
taker.
Love the note taker. Yeah, and that screaming baby in the very first episode was foreshadowing baby Walter in the basement of the death house. Yeah, that would be a great one.
I think that the train cars were like the actual atmosphere in those were so cool that maybe like the sleeping one where you couldn't see the walls and it was endless and everything, with like Karina right in front and we're all just standing there. I thought that would be really cool. But also, I don't know if we were all together, but whenever we transitioned into the dream of the past for Strahd, we saw Strahd first in full form in front of us. And I was like, that would be a really cool one with all of our backs right there with Strahd in front of us with fog and sort of fading into her dream at that moment. I was like, I didn't know if we were all together in that scene though. Like we saw each other.
Speaking of that dream, thank you so much for taking the edge that you did, Matty, of visions. that enables this whole thing that I'm going to be playing off of for the remainder of the campaign? Thank you.
It made sense because she's slowly losing it, so I'm like, you know what? I think this works. This works.
Such a cool. It's literally
When in Rome.
It is the simplest written edge I think in the entire book. It's like once a session or every other session, you get a vision. Like that's basically all it says.
It's great. I love to make you do extra work.
Oh, thank you.
I think a scene that I think would look really, really cool as a painting or a picture is when we were walking off of the second train with all the dilapidated houses and all of the ravens. And it was just miserable and raining and the houses are all destroyed and damaged and hopeless. And like I'm just seeing it as like black and white with the only speck of blue on that fucking raven. And that's all you see for color. It's like for whatever reason that really stuck with me, that image. Maybe because I've been there. But it definitely stuck with me.
Or the scene of the room where the smoke's coming out of you and we're all just like, some of us are laying there while some of us are standing.
Hey,
like,
you know
that
what?
would be pretty
Just the
cool.
smoke pouring
We
out
don't-
That
from
would
the
be,
don't-
yeah. And the moment
don't
that they're
judge what
staring at
happens.
her going, what do we do?
I mean, classic horror movie scene right there. Lauren? Did you have one or was yours the like partially open train door into the...
Yeah, mine is definitely that horror moment because my mind will fill in the blanks. I'm very imaginative. You might have guessed. So us coming off of the train, spattered in blood, cuts, our eyes wide, bloodshot. You can see we've been crying. Our faces slightly sunken from the experience. And you have the smoke around their feet as one foot is on the platform and behind them is the door closing and all of their eyes are wide because in that crack of the door you just see blood and a blade. And that's cakes and pies and pastries, I guess. And them just being completely changed by their experience on board this train. Just this shock on their face. So spooky. Spooky Halloween!
You know, I was trying to think of one, but I can't get out of my head the description of the one that you suggested, Mav. That was a very cool, like just the idea of all those dogs in the alley. Oh.
And it's a show of her power with like minimum effort.
Yeah. She's a fan of that. You might have noticed.
Yeah.
Well, did anyone else, either in the chat or any of you, have any final questions to ask before we call an end to our short rest?
I will say this. It has been officially in a year because we started this journey on 5/7/2024.
A year and 2 months. Look at us go! Yes. It has been
down in my notes.
It has been an absolute honor to get to tell this story with you all. You have made this so much cooler than even I could have ever imagined.
But I do have a question for everyone that's here right now, to all of my lovely co-stars. If you could play another character besides yourself, who would it be and why?
Do you mean like one of the other PCs? Like if we had to body swap?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
PC,
if we-
because
if-
I
if
would
we
be
had a body
Strahd.
swap.
Oh.
I'd be a stunning, hot, gorgeous
I want to be
vampire.
the one that
I'm
destroys
ready.
everything.
Tap me in. I can be a sexy vampire lady. Just say the word.
That's a fair answer.
Just let me
Oh,
ascend.
darling. I got this.
Be Lancelot. He doesn't seem to have a lot of problems. He seems to be pretty happy with the situation. He doesn't actually know what's going on. So
I
yeah.
feel like Mav is getting a very different series of answers
it
than he
is.
imagined, but
Let me rephrase that. Freaky Friday within the group. That's what happens. If we're body swapped, who would you want to body swap with? Like for
I
some
think-
odd reason.
Well,
Go ahead. No.
Oh, go.
Just
You
for some
say.
odd reason, if down the line where, hey, you're gonna play as Gloria today, or like just something
yeah,
happens
if
where
for some
our
odd
character-
reason down the line you all get body swapped, which ones would you like?
Hey, get your hands off the keyboard.
I like this. This was fun, but not anymore. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I think I would I'm letting my character choose who he would swap with. And it would be Nyne. He would like to have little fear. Or at least be able to shield it better. And I think it would be fun to Kit Kat. Scratch over the vomit. I just think that would be. I think Brawk would really enjoy being a wrestler, a badass, a meow meow.
For me, it would be Karina. I just want to live in that ability of just not giving a fuck, just getting
walking.
high, just walking, getting high, just the inhibitions.
She cares so much, though.
No. She does, but the point is the intrusive thoughts of I'm just gonna get high and let it ride over me, and then when I need to do something, then I'll do it, inebriated as fuck, but I'll get it done. It's that level of throwing care to the wind for yourself, pretty much.
Karina's very all or nothing, which I think is a wicked character trait.
Yeah, I don't think Karina hedges her bets much.
Not even. I like the Karina.
I'll become Gloria. It is so opposite of Hawthorne. I will fly in the air. I don't want my toes to get wet.
Yeah, I do.
The problem is I don't know that much
ability
science facts.
The water does really mess with Gloria.
She's so science oriented, though. I'm not science oriented, so I'd be like with a book, like looking up stuff. We're going to make a water filtration system.
I think it'd be better if you were looking up the facts. It'd be funny.
Hey, that's a great way to get yourself to learn something. If your character knows something you don't, have to look it up every time.
Definitely.
I want to stand by my answer of Stradia.
I think that's a fair answer.
Yeah, I'll be Stradia.
But if you did have to Freaky Friday.
If I did have to Freaky Friday, I'd probably also pick Karina. I think I think that I enjoy confrontation in a secure role-playing environment. I'm a very non-confrontational person, like in my real life, but I do think that, like, in a game, it can lead to some amazingly interesting situations where, like, if you have an entirely non-confrontational party, there might be whole characters or whole plot lines you don't explore. And so I think having a character that's unafraid of exploring conflict is fun to play. And so I think Matty, I'd swap.
Well, you see, it would be a fair trade because I would totally swap for Gloria because I love a character that has a bubbly personality that is hiding something a lot darker. And I feel like that would be a character I could really enjoy playing. And if not Gloria, definitely Brawk because I want to be a little genius.
Oh, well, that was very sweet because I was about to be like, well, I can't help but notice that no one wants to feign a lot and throw up. Okay?
No one's taking.
I'm trying not to.
I feel more comfy with femme characters.
Poor Brawk.
I go for she, her.
Poor Brawk very predictably being the last person chosen for kickball.
I was just joking.
I don't need a fear of wolves, thank you.
That is something.
What is inhaler?
Very sweet calling him a little genius. That was very nice.
I mean, the sleuth edge that you've been putting to use
is super cool.
Is a really like, could you imagine an ability like that in D&D? Because the sleuth edge literally is just you spend a penny and you find
he doesn't miss anything.
Everything in the scene. Period.
But I think the bennies are so critical to the success of Savage Worlds. I'm going to throw us back because I didn't say this then, but I'm going to say it now. I think that the whole idea of us being the main characters, having this extra D6 that we roll because we're technically the main characters, I think that in many role-playing games, it's incredibly frustrating when your character is supposed to be really good at something. They're built to be able to succeed at something. Like, for example, say Gloria, like if she has this history of being a doctor, she should be good at healing. And so sometimes, like, the reason we're using a system and not just telling a story with no dice is because we want that randomness. We want those interesting story beats. But there's times where you, as the hero, should succeed. And I think that having the ability to re-roll something with a Benny is really important because it allows for, in those pivotal moments, a little bit more control.
And it lets
just
you
enough.
kind of decide as a player, this is what matters to me that my character is good at. And so I'm going to throw 3 friggin' bennies at it.
And then if you still fail, it's fate.
There's a good, at that point, there's a good reason. You know, the dice have told their story. Yeah, that is so true. So true.
And that's ties back into the sleuth that Brawk has because
That's what I meant to tie back to. So thank you,
no.
Lauren.
No, you're not.
I took us on this buddy trail, but I meant to loop it back.
I got you. Okay. So because Brawk has the sleuth feature because of his background as a forensic examiner. Like his job was to see everything no one saw. So that being able to carry forward as this hypervigilance, this response to not understanding the world that he's in, and the Benny system just allows him to. That's his thing. That we know he throws up, faints, and does that,
and finds everything.
And
he has a lot.
One more wonder
about him. You're just making him just base here. He has a lot more about him.
Maybe.
Well, any other final questions to close us out with?
Okay. What is the this is a horror, it's a horror game, let's all admit, yes. But there are times where we giggle. There are moments that we remember. Now, players, what is the funniest moment that's made you laugh?
Nyne pretending to croak over on the train after eating the cupcake or donut, whatever the fuck it was, and acting like a fucking chest burster was about to come out of his chest. Because watching everyone else lose it, and Ethan understanding
that happened before I came. I was like momentarily not here because I would have not let you take a bite. I just wanted to see that Gloria and Margaret had to be somewhere for the first 10-15 minutes of that session. I just want to say.
I tried to tell him. But
it's like, no.
Don't eat it. Don't eat it.
Be hungry.
The second I got there, I made an investigation roll. Immediately knew it was blood. Y'all needed me.
Yeah, you came in and on your like first roll of that session had like a triple explosion of like, I know everything that's in this right now.
But the funny part was
microscopic analysis.
Gluten?
But the funny part was watching everyone else's faces, and then Ethan as a DM and knows me as a player. How the fuck do I make him roll for actual damage if he? Oh, he's fucking with me. Okay, cool. All right.
I was like, I have to look up how to do this.
Oh yeah, that was my favorite part because this Brawk just losing it. It was funny.
I have too many. One definitely is with Gloria and Ethan. And it was in the beginning, and she went into the fog, or Karina went into the fog. Or
when I was talking to Strahd.
Yeah, that was still one of my favorites. And then, of course, you have Nyne covering the vomit of Brawk.
That's my favorite.
No, I think my favorite.
That's a really good one.
I forgot about that moment until you just said it. But yeah, when Strahd called me a good girl. And then I leaned into it.
Then whenever Brawk sees Karina like naked in a bathtub and like starts freaking out, I really loved that moment. That was hilarious.
That little moment from Brawk is one of possibly my most quoted outside of the campaign because it was just so funny the way he just went, boobies.
He needs to stop saying it when I take my shirt off, though, guys. If you could encourage him to do that, that'd be great.
Keep doing it, Ethan.
I
Keep
can't
doing it.
discourage him from doing that. That's legendary. No, that was that's definitely the moment that I found one of the funniest was just his response, Brawk's response to boobies. It was great. That poor man. I'm sorry.
He saw the face
I
of
have no
God that
regret.
day.
It's like the lights in the darkness, the little things
It's
that
the
make
little-
us giggle with the story. Yeah,
And that is
but,
important.
keep us alive.
Genuinely, I think the most I have laughed just out of character was when Gloria came and was just like, there was a voice and someone called me a bad girl. And I was just like, God damn it. And then for the remainder of that session.
She was gonna be just like that.
So funny. So good. There's a reason that is one of the opening parts of the little trailer on our channel. There was a voice in my head that said I was a bad girl.
All of us just go.
And she was twirling her hair. She was twirling her hair at the
It
time.
was the best. So good.
Stradia, what can I say? Well,
Body swap. Let's go.
any final questions for this little short rest? Well,
Are you enjoying playing with us?
this has been such a fun
I'm
story.
gonna tell the truth. Man.
Who's favorite? What's your guys' favorite Ethan voice? Like that he's brought out for this.
Oh God, I
Did-
Man, fuck Stradia.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's obvious.
I was gotta
You're
give
Stradia.
you
making her
Stradia.
sexual. You're making her
Yeah,
sexual.
Stradia.
Well, that was unanimous. Damn. All right. Got up my game on everything else.
Guy
Make
who is part
everyone
who like
else
started the story game.
sexier is my
Mama D
feedback.
makes me want to punch babies.
That's the feedback.
Yeah.
What makes you want to punch babies?
Riding,
Riding.
Oh,
just the way he talks.
Wait,
I hate Rocky.
we need to meet the werewolf first. Look, I have a little Lego werewolf on my desk.
Aw.
Wait,
Oh.
Ask me this question and see if you can
Are
one up
we-
your sexy vampire
are we
with a
doing
sexy
the-
werewolf.
Team
Are we
werewolf.
doing
You
the
know I'm
Twilight
gonna,
werewolf
you
or
know I'm gonna
vampire
rip
right
that
now?
fucker to shreds, right? That is what my
What?
main goal is. Nyne's main goal is to kill that son of a bitch. Like, even before that, cool. I get to fight a werewolf. I want to fight a werewolf.
I'm not going to lie. There is a direction that this fight could go.
Great.
That I
Wonderful.
think
Love that.
would be amazing story-wise.
Love it when you start
Who
sentences
knows?
like that.
If it, I'm not going to force the train that way.
Yeah.
But
Well,
God,
Gloria
if it
doesn't want to
goes
meet
that
the
way,
werewolf.
holy
Anna Margaret?
hell.
You guys,
Yeah, Margaret's here
a
for it.
Minotaur werewolf. We cannot have me be a werewolf. I would be ginormous. I would
That-
be huge.
Is
Okay.
an option for us.
Why are you saying that like it's a
Honest
bad thing?
Yep.
Because I'm. Who knows? I might jump you guys.
Could you imagine
Turn on you.
Minotaur turn
Why are you
werewolf?
saying that like it's a bad
Jesus.
thing?
Why you?
Oh,
why you-
I know. Doesn't that sound epic?
Wait, Minotaur
That
turned
sounds
werewolf?
epic.
I'm pretty sure there's a book about this that's very popular right now.
I'm fairly certain this is not a book
Like
that's
Kwame Mills?
made for work.
That's got to be a romantasy book by now. I'm pretty sure.
Almost certainly. Probably horrible. Of course you would. I'll buy it for you.
Well, I
Thanks,
have absolutely loved the first 26 chapters of this story, and I can't wait to keep telling this story with all of you. So before we leave, I do want to give y'all the opportunity to let everyone know where they can find you, and then we are going to initiate a raid and call it a night. So, Sally, want to lead us off?
Sure. Hey, you guys, I'm Sally. I'm all over the internet as SallyQuinnCreations. We're rocking some Summerween coming up here, so stick around for that. And we're always doing D&D fun. We're also on our way to making Sally a DM, which this wonderful Ethan and Lauren will be in that, and Matty. And I really feel bad for them because it's going to be horrible.
It's gonna be a blast.
So come and put channel points to this cause. It's a great cause. It's a horrible story. Okay, I'm popcorning back to you, Ethan.
Mav.
Hey everyone, it's your favorite black guy here on the internet here. You can find me on DigitalClubhouseTV where I'm playing loads of wonderful games. You can catch me tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time playing more Life is Strange because God, that game. We're still in the middle of chapter 3. It's a fun time. You can also find me on Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, where I will be finishing up Suit for Hire and then starting a new game called Say No More. And then you can catch me and the homies starring Gabby, featuring Gabby, with more Ready or Not, because why not? We really love that tactical gameplay that we have there. It's mostly of us all dying, and it's just fun. And you can also find me here on Thousand Face TTRPG and all the campaigns.
It's true. Literally.
Okay, bye!
Matty, I know we cannot see you, but we can still hear you. Where can people find you?
You can't find me. I'm hiding now.
Fair enough.
I'm on Instagram under Mythful Cosplays. I sell dice. I have not updated anything because I've been very busy. Under More Eggs Dice, if you want to follow that on Etsy, I should be making updates in the next, I don't know, give me a month or a little longer. I've also been playing in Ethan's Lord of Sin game, which every single time I close off, I need to pump this show. You should go watch it. It's terribly dark. It is beautifully played. You can watch me make some horrible decisions in real time. And yeah, it's overall very fun.
Anna Margaret.
Hello, I'm Anna Margaret. You can find me everywhere at It's Anna Margaret. I'll be at 2 events this month. If you live near Louisville, I will be there this weekend. Come, I will be hosting and judging a cosplay contest at the Universe's regional there. So hang out with me. And then at the end of the month, I'll be at Gen Con, where I will be in 2 live shows. I'm jamming a Star Trek live show sponsored by Mothership. That's going to be so fun.
Be a lot of fun.
And then I'm also playing in a sorority horror one-shot GM'd by Becca Scott with an amazing, awesome cast also there. So, yay! If you're at Gen Con, come see me. It should be so fun.
Lauren.
I am on the internet as Thousand Faces Cosplay, as well as 95% Lauren. I am also mostly just in the streams or content of all my friends here. I love getting out there and supporting my people, which I think you should too. They're all wonderful and they're all doing great things. On my end of things, I am going to try to do a couple cosplays. I haven't decided what they are yet, or their timeline, but I've just decided that that's what's going to happen. That and more gaming.
You do still have Mad Moxie photo shoot coming up too.
I do. I have to fix my boots, but then I'm ready to freaking go. I got hooked up with a real dive bar, real neon, gonna get on that bar and Moxie my ass off. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for
awesome.
Hit that
Danger.
iridium.
It's on your tip.
And you can find me at the Buff DM, Thousand Faces Cosplay, and on Go Buff Yourself. Please do check out past episodes of Crimson Tower, Wylde Beyond, and Lords of Sin. Be warned, if you think City of the Crimson Tower is dark, this is darker.
You are ready, baby girl.
Though it too has its moments of laughter also, as people have to try to defeat the archdevils representing the 7 deadly sins. So please go check that out. But we are also going to start a raid. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us as we talked about this amazing story with these incredible players. Until we see you next time, friends, do something good for yourselves. It's a tough time out there, and you deserve to do something good for yourself. So no matter how small, treat yourself a little bit. And until we see you next time, friends, go buff yourselves. Bye, y'all.